An art as old as the ages. A centuries-old tradition inspired by God, nature, and humankind. The tattoo. In Phoenix, Arizona, at the Hell City Tattoo Convention, hundreds gather to celebrate this ancient practice that has exploded into one of the most dynamic art renaissances in history. Leading the movement are two of the most sophisticated artists of our time, Guy Aitchison and Aaron Kane. For the first time, these industry legends will go head-to-head in the most ambitious tattoo war yet. Their challenge, to each ink a full biomechanical sleeve, the most cutting-edge style of tattoo in the world. Their war will culminate at the Hell City Convention. Here, they must complete their sleeves by simultaneously tattooing the inner forearms of the same person. Two top-tier artists, one canvas. It's up to the people to decide which ink-slinging icon will take home the trophy. Going head-to-head in the ultimate biomechanical tattoo war are two men widely regarded as masters of their craft, Guy Aitchison and Aaron Kane. These pioneers have transcended traditional limitations, turning tattooing into an undisputed fine art.
Tattooing is absolutely a type of fine art. In fact, in my opinion, it is one of the most real forms of art that there is. You can't quit in the middle of it. It has to be done right. It has to be beautiful for the person wearing it. That is the measure of a successful tattoo.
Not only is he one of the inventors of biomechanical style, Guy Aitchison, with his extraordinary ability to create depth and luminosity, is acclaimed for revolutionizing modern tattooing. He even wrote a book on it.
The level and quality of Guy's work is immaculate. He's taken tattoos to a whole different level. He's brought it from being a craft art to being a fine art. No one else has done that.
Guy changed the way we all now think about tattooing. He changed it from that flat style to a very beautiful art form, and then everybody started seeing it as an art form, and then it made everybody step up to the plate and start doing some nice work, or they were never gonna make it.
In this biomechanical clash of the titans, there is only one man equipped to challenge this icon, his rival, Aaron Kane. As the other undisputed pioneer of biomechanical style, Aaron's bold graphic lines and inventive form are widely touted as the pinnacle of design in the tattoo world.
If you have a tattoo by Aaron, it's actually kind of almost like owning an expensive piece of art.
Tattooing can definitely be fine art. No, without question, there's a lot of fine art tattooing and a lot of, tattooers who I consider fine artists first and tattooers second.
His tattoos really speak to people because of the flow and composition, and if you're a sci-fi geek, the spacey, pokey, ribby things are extra cool.
For the first time, Guy Aitchison and Aaron Kane are about to face off in a tattoo war of such unrivaled proportion that it will unfold not in one session, but in 5, over the course of 1 week. Their canvas, a world-renowned artist of his own right, Saber. A fine artist, a sculptor, and creator of the only piece of art visible from space, the LA River mural. Saber is one of the world's premier graffiti artists. And now, he is the canvas for the most challenging tattoo war yet.
It's a perfect time in the fact that I'm bringing my history, they're bringing their history, and we're all merging it on my arm. I'm basically a blank slate for the masters.
I didn't think we were going to be able to even find somebody that had 2 blank arms that would be willing to get tattooed at all, let alone this guy who's fans of ours, and he was totally into it.
At the end of 1 week, Saber will have 2 full sleeves, one from Guy Aitchison and one from Aaron Kane. The plan: Saber will travel across the country to southern Illinois, where Guy will spend 2 8-hour sessions tattooing the outer portion of his upper and lower right arm. Then he will travel to Northern California, where Aaron will spend 2 8-hour sessions tattooing the outer portion of his upper and lower left arm. Finally, the artists will meet in Phoenix, Arizona at the Hell City Convention, where they will simultaneously tattoo the inner forearms to complete 2 full sleeves. But this war is on their terms. Rather than keeping their design secret, Guy and Aaron are collaborating on sketches.
It's an opportunity to take these 2 completely blank arms and make them match without actually making a pair of symmetrical tattoos.
But the magnitude of the project is daunting.
Even with all the sketching and everything ahead of time, I still feel like I'm standing at the bottom of a mountain looking up.
Right. It's a big project, dude. It's gonna be huge, so.
If it were like 1 inch longer, I'm not sure, you know?
Well, I'm hoping I can do that too, so we'll see what happens.
Well, in that case, I'll push it that extra 1 inch. Just
push that extra 1 inch?
Yeah.
Just to push me over the edge?
Exactly.
Okay, so it is a war then.
Tucked away in the Illinois countryside is Hyperspace Studio. Traveling all the way from Los Angeles is Saber. He arrives at this garden paradise for his first of 5 sessions that will occur over the next week. Guy unveils the basic design.
We're really aiming for something that's just going to be bold. That is going to be an across the street set of tattoos. You know,
I love it.
We want the symmetry and the fact that they are so complementary with each other. We want that to be evident from any distance.
You guys definitely hit it right on the nail. Just bam, you know.
Inspired by abstract art, nature, and mechanics, the biomechanical style is one of the most intricate in the world.
Biomech tattooing is a style that was massively influenced by H.R. Giger, the guy that created the original Alien artwork. In the very beginning, the very first biomech tattoos that we're seeing were just Giger paintings tattooed directly on people's skin. Aaron and I, we weren't content just doing duplications. We were, very influenced by this style, but also felt like bringing in some of our own elements and, wanting to do something original with it. Biomechanical work, it's both bio, meaning it's got these organic, living type forms, and mechanical, meaning it will have these repetitive, vent-like things that look manufactured. Bringing those 2 things together pretty much makes something biomech.
Having to describe a biomechanical tattoo, there's people that just don't understand that it's abstract art and it's art for art's sake, and you're just supposed to look at it and enjoy it. But if they don't go for that, you have to get into the whole, it's kind of an abstract, alien, organic landscape, tell people what they need to hear. Describe it however you want, but at the end it's always like, oh, okay.
Coming up, Guy launches into battle.
It's almost like an athletic event.
And Aaron designs his artillery, a handcrafted cane original.
This is a machine I'm going to use when we tattoo Saber.
5 days before the convention. In Illinois, Guy and Saber are about to start a challenging 8-hour session, the first of 5 that will occur over the next week.
We've just made sure that everyone is sleeping enough and eating right and drinking plenty of water, and it's almost like an athletic event. Our first stage is going to be to draw it on with markers. We're going to be combining different elements from these various sketches into this marker drawing. And when we've nailed it, then we'll actually start tattooing.
Unlike many tattoo artists, Guy and Aaron don't work off a stencil. Though they agreed on the tattoo's basic design, Guy is freehand drawing to create a tattoo that flows perfectly with Saber's body.
When I'm doing a freehand drawing like this, usually I'll start with a lighter colored marker, which allows me to scribble and just kind of experiment with the rough layout. As it starts to come together, I'll go to a darker magic marker and so on until finally I'm working with either a dark purple or a black towards the end there. So, the whole process gives me a chance to fine-tune as I go without having to do a lot of erasing. This has nothing to do with the final color scheme. It's just strictly about light, medium, and dark. And it's funny, I do have to explain that to people sometimes. Like, wait, I didn't want this tattoo green. It's like, don't worry, it's not gonna be green.
Guy Aitchison is an artist's artist, able to move freely across mediums. At his hyperspace studio, he and longtime partner, wife, and fellow tattoo artist Michelle Wortman devote an equal amount of time to oil painting, photography, and publishing.
I met Michelle over 15 years ago. I tattooed her a little bit, and I was always impressed by her artwork, and I thought she was cute. We eventually hooked up and started doing artwork together. We shared a studio space, painting side by side. So that's been a tradition of our relationship from the get-go.
Guy and I were friends before we started dating, and we just were naturally attracted to each other. We were both really looking for a relationship that we could be creative people at the same time and have fun together. So it was like the perfect, I guess the word is symbiosis of energy, because what he had was opposite of me, and we together made a really good team.
For Guy, working alongside Michelle in a different creative medium is a source of freedom.
I think it's been very helpful for me to work in another medium besides just tattooing. I think being a painter as well as a tattooist has allowed me to have something where I can do whatever I want here. I can mess it up if I need to. I can get halfway there and be discouraged. Or maybe I can just see what happens. Or you never want to do that with a tattoo.
Guy's experience painting directly informs his unique approach to tattooing.
When I work with markers, it's kind of like a watercolor process. Before I start tattooing, I want to make sure I've got everything down on the skin. I want to know what my pos-neg relationships are going to be. I want to know where my gradients are going to be. I'd like that to all be there in the drawing. Well, I'm pretty much done with the drawing. I think that we're more or less at a point where we're going to go to the mirror, check it out, and if all is good, we're going to start tattooing.
Yeah, I like that.
This here follows the movement of the tricep. You've got this rotational kind of element going around the elbow there. So it's based directly off of where the muscle layout is. I should move really nicely with him when he's on a ladder, bombing with spray paint on some bridge somewhere.
With his sketch complete, Guy begins to lay down ink.
Well, what do you think? You ready?
Let's do it.
All right.
Hidden away in the quaint Northern California town of Grass Valley is Aaron Kane. In just 2 short days, Sabre will be arriving, so Aaron must make time now to complete work on his devoted clientele. Today, nursing student Rhiannon Hildebrand.
Aaron is one of those guys where when you get an appointment with him to have a tattoo and other people know that you've been tattooed by him, it's kind of like, oh, Aaron Kane? You got tattooed by Aaron Kane? Wow.
Usually when I start a project, I'll get out a bunch of different books, all kinds of stuff, nature, art. It's just something so I can get a little taste of what she likes and then put that flavor into the tattoo. Today, this is kind of the centerpiece of this tattoo. It's this coil that, could have been referenced from something just like this. With these spurs coming off, and we're just going to try and really give this a bunch of depth.
I'm a little scared, actually. I might cry a little bit, but...
Okay, I'm going to start right up here. Are you ready?
Yep.
Let's do it.
As a nursing student, people think I'm kind of crazy. I'm the tattooed girl in nursing school. I think that the public has a lot of preconceptions and misconceptions about tattoos. I think that tattoos are still somewhat associated with kind of a underground, kind of seedy lifestyle, and at the same time, there's a weird dichotomy where it is so popular that they're all over, and moms and their daughters actually have tattoos at the same time, and it's kind of that weird mix.
It's looking great. It's gonna be awesome when it's finished.
I know. I can't wait. I think that tattoos can have meaning, but for me, they are just something that I think is really beautiful. It's like buying a piece of art.
Work on Rhiannon is complete. Now, Aaron will prepare for the impending tattoo war in a way only Aaron Kane can, by fabricating one of his own specialty tattoo machines to use for the competition.
I started making, professional machines right after I started professionally tattooing, just by rebuilding the ones I already had, and then as soon as I figured out how to progress, I would think about ways to build new stuff with the equipment that I had, which was basically nothing. I'm not changing the existing technology, which has been around for 100 years. I'm just making a very functional tool, but it also looks really cool too.
Aaron's tattoo machines are the most sought after in the industry. Hailed for their flawless function, coveted for their exotic materials and hand-carved cane designs.
I use a lot of Damascus steel and Mocha Megani, and I use meteorite sometimes.
Aaron's tattoo machines are pieces of sculpture. They happen to run and put tattoos in the skin, but they are, in and of themselves, pieces of fine art.
Renowned for his craftsmanship, Aaron's most exclusive machines garner anywhere from $1,500 to $5,000. But this one's not for sale. This handcrafted treasure is reserved for the competition.
Here's the completely fabricated frame, and I'm just gonna go ahead and sculpt it out and then get ready for detail carving. What makes the perfect machine is that it tattoos perfectly. It does what it wants intuitively. You don't have to fight it. It should be an extension of your hand, basically. So you're not fighting the tools to get what you want.
Aaron's son Fletcher joins in as Aaron assembles his secret weapon.
Look, buddy, it's all done. What do you think? He calls tattoo machines Zirconia, and we have no idea where that came from. Pretty fancy, huh?
Up next, Guy is under the gun finishing Saber's outer arm, and the pressure is mounting.
I hope Aaron feels challenged by this, but I'll tell you, even just knowing he's going to be doing something opposite is borderline nerve-wracking for me.
4 days remain before the convention. In Illinois, after yesterday's solid 8-hour session, Saber's upper arm is nearing completion.
Are you holding up all right?
I'm doing good.
Oh, good. I think we're pretty much done with this section.
That's good news. Wow.
And there you go.
It's unbelievable. The highlights, I really like the way you worked in these dark tones into this.
Yeah, I like
Looks
how massive it looks too.
It's big.
The photos will not convey the size.
There's a lot of cover me right here. You're gonna need big tubes of ink for me.
Yeah, well, 1 down, 5 more to go.
That's right.
With the convention only 4 days away, there is no recovery time for Saber. Guy must move immediately to his second session on the outer forearm, leaving the inner forearm to complete at the convention.
Ready to get started with this part?
Absolutely.
All right, let's draw this sucker on. It really has ended up being as much a collaboration as it is a competition. It's going to be a lot more than just, let's meet in the town square at high noon and shoot it out. We're really setting this thing up.
Though Guy and Aaron are collaborating, this is a war.
I believe that all artists are inherently competitive, at least to some extent. And even Da Vinci acknowledged that a little constructive competition between artists was a good thing. Tattooers are like that, we want to see what other people are doing and be impressed by it and be pushed to take our own work to the next level. We want to go, wow, all right, I better go draw. I gotta rise to this challenge. I hope Aaron feels challenged by this, but I'll tell you, even just knowing he's going to be doing something opposite it is borderline nerve-wracking for me.
Looks really nice.
Okay, so you sure that office job isn't going to happen?
I never did even consider it, to tell you the truth.
Nice massage.
Across the studio, Guy's partner Michelle tattoos Mindy, a longtime friend and client, in classic feminine style.
One of my mottos for the style of tattooing that I work in is, could you wear that with an evening dress? Could you wear that at your most elegant, and could you wear that at your most casual? Because essentially it's defining you at all your moments.
Mindy's visit to Hyperspace Studio produced a moment she will never forget.
My boyfriend Phil asked me to marry him last night in hyperspace of all places, which was really special. He got down on one knee and opened up the box and said, "Will you marry me?" And I said yes and gave him a big smooch, and I was very surprised, so it was a good moment.
We were wondering what was taking Phil so long, so we're very happy for her and we wish them the best.
Thousands of miles away in Grass Valley, Aaron Kane enjoys some precious quality time with his family while awaiting Saber's arrival.
We have 2 boys, Fletcher and Gibson. Fletcher's almost 2 and Gibson's about 8 months, and they're awesome. It's the coolest thing I've ever done.
Aaron is such an amazing dad. He's such an amazing person, and I just had no idea that he was going to be that great. Aaron plays with them every chance that he gets. We've been setting up the watercolors in the backyard and painting full sleeves on them. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing or what, but it's really fun, and he loves it.
Aaron is not the only artist in the family. Christine, his wife of 4 years, has a flair for creating savory sculptures.
I'm a pastry chef, and I make wedding cakes and birthday cakes and whatever custom desserts we may think up. All done. I got my second tattoo from Aaron after my taste for tattoos evolved. When I went to Aaron's shop, I really saw the art in it and was just really into getting something beautiful from him.
My family is definitely priority number 1, and everything else is, like work and art are a close second, but family is definitely first priority.
Night descends upon Illinois, and Guy is 6 hours into his second session with Saber. After tonight's session, Saber will immediately fly to Northern California, where Aaron will tackle his outer left arm. As an artist, Saber has an appreciation for the unique sophistication of Guy's technique.
The amazing thing about the way he tattoos is it's almost an approach like an oil painting, where he works different areas in with different colors and blends the colors into the skin. Most, tattoo artists do more of a cut and paste, step-by-step type of tattoo, but his is a real layered painting is what it is. It's almost like he has a brush in his hand.
Aaron and I both use our tattoo palettes kind of the way that a painter does, where, if you pour 14 colors, that doesn't mean you're going to do a tattoo with 14 colors in it. You can dip the machine back and forth between these colors and get blends. You can dip between a purple and a green and get a steel color, for instance. You have an infinite range available that way. All right, I think we're done with this stage of it. The rotator, the hose, the hoses, the blades, the jitties, the vents, the doohickeys, the spider guys. Just a few more hours and we'll send you off to Aaron.
Great.
Next, the tattoo war heats up. Guy has made his mark.
He went ridiculous.
It's totally Guy.
Now, it's Aaron's turn to strike back.
I can read that perfectly fine, but right now it looks like chicken scratches or something like that.
Only 3 days remain before the convention. After 2 full sessions with Guy, Saber travels to Grass Valley, California. Guy has had his chance. Now, it's Aaron's turn to try and top him. Aaron will perform 2 sessions on Saber's outer left arm before they meet in Phoenix for the finale.
Hey.
What's up, dude?
What's going on?
Oh, yeah.
Good to see you. Excellent.
See you too. So let's see it. Let's have a look.
Absolutely.
Wow.
He went ridiculous.
It's totally Guy. Like 100% Guy. Like there's no mistaking. That thing is awesome. I can't believe that was 2 days.
With the convention only 3 days away, Aaron must get to work.
I'm gonna take everything that he's done, kind of look in the mirror, and then just get everything mapped out. But then after that, I'm gonna stop looking at it.
Aaron carefully marks the placement of the major graphic elements from Guy's tattoo to ensure Saber has 2 different but complementary sleeves.
Right now, I'm just trying to get all of the important stuff kind of in the same spots. Guy and I have been going back and forth. We started off kind of like on opposite ends of how we wanted to approach things, and I don't know if it's just because it's supposed to be a war, it ended up being like right off the bat butting heads. We just finished up the last color. I just went over it with brown, a darker color, just to kind of let myself know where the important areas are. So I'm ready to do a rough outline, and it's going to be really quick. We're going to use this brand new machine that I made, workshop.
Very nice.
Try it out.
This session marks Saber's 17th hour under the needle, but so far, he's holding strong.
I'm holding up good. I'm very antsy, so sitting there a long time is probably my biggest problem.
If Aaron is going to top Guy, he must make the most of his 2 8-hour sessions.
I've heard that he works very hard and fast. It sounds like that he's all business, which is great. The sooner we get through this, the better. So, I'm his subject, so I'm willing to just sit and do whatever we need to do.
Though Guy and Aaron both use a marker to establish the tattoo's basic form, their method of applying ink to the skin is radically different.
Guy starts real soft and builds stuff up and doesn't do line work till pretty much the last stage. So I like to do some kind of textural, gestural line work first. His is much more painterly and, accurately rendered. Mine is much more kind of graphic, and, I do a lot of scribbly stuff and kind of flatter colors.
We'll see how I'm feeling about 6 hours from now.
Meanwhile, in the Illinois countryside, fellow tattoo artist Becky Patterson arrives at Hyperspace Studio to squeeze in a session with Guy and his partner Michelle before the fast-approaching convention.
Right. What we're working on here is a collaborative tattoo. We've been working on this for a little while. It's one of the largest collaborative tattoos that Michelle and I have done, and it's really been a chance for us to both use our own unique, styles mixed together into a very consistent, unified tattoo. This is a chance for us to just do kind of a final touch-up and dial the thing in and be able to call it finished once and for all.
My back is about being self-made. The statue in the middle is a likeness of myself, which overflows to feed the garden, just like my life.
Usually when we work together, we kind of discuss the different things that we're going for and graphic elements and the subtleties. I'm more inclined towards subtlety, Guy's more inclined towards graphic. So we combine those considerations and we kind of create a hybrid of the two styles.
I think there are two styles that are representative of my personality. On one side, maybe a little bold and hard, and the other soft and sweet.
The best collaborations, what you really end up with is a piece that looks like it was done by a new artist, an artist that's kind of, that only exists when those two artists get together and mix their thing. In a sense, all tattoos are collaborations between you and your client, and when you've got two artists working on it, it just takes that to another level.
I'm thinking that's looking pretty finished. What do you think, Guy?
Yeah, they're really well balanced.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's fantastic.
I think that we could probably call this a wrap. I think she's probably sat through enough.
Yeah.
Becky's back is complete. In Northern California, Aaron's outline on Saber's left arm is a skeleton of the masterpiece it will become.
I can read that perfectly fine, but I know what it looks like with somebody that doesn't know what I'm thinking. Right now it looks like, chicken scratches or something like that. But that's how it starts. I mean, 75% of that line work is just gonna fade away into the textures of the shading. So right now we're starting to get the top colors into the color scheme, and we're gonna finish out this first section. It's looking great. We're on our way.
As pioneers of biomech, Guy and Aaron have had tremendous influence on each other's style.
But seeing Guy's work, it was taken to another level where it was interpretive and it was something that was new. I definitely stole a lot of stuff from Guy, and he knows it, and I got caught, but I try to give back whenever I can. So, I think I did okay.
It looks so beautiful. I'm so excited, walking art.
Up next, the competition is fast approaching, and the demanding schedule is posing challenges.
I left some stuff a little bit unfinished, and that's kind of a no-no, because then it will kind of get chewed up, so it's not going to be fun for him.
Only one day remains before the convention and the final phase of competition. At Hyperspace Studio, Guy manages to carve out time for a session with Wes Wheeler, one of his most devoted clients.
We're going to be doing the final session on this side. There is a little bit of cover-up involved, and so we've got a couple of spots here where we need to smooth out the stuff that's showing through. We're going to pump up the contrast in a couple of places and just make it read a little bit more clearly.
In general, it just basically is a representation of kind of life and, you know, just a general metaphor of nature and technology. The center is going to end up being a lot of energy and light and kind of a geometrical shape that's going to tie both of these together.
Wes's right side tattoo is inspired by one of Guy's most celebrated oil paintings, the Mind Tree.
The Mind Tree almost represents energy. Our minds are basically what drives everything, our consciousness and all that. So the Mind Tree brings all that energy and the nature all into one and kind of just represents something that's not recognizable generally, but you can gather something from it, you know, just by looking at it. You don't have to speak English. You can just look at it and be like, wow, that is something substantial right there.
Wes's tattoo is complete. But Guy has one final client to see before he leaves for the convention. A man with one of Guy's largest collections, Jack Morton.
I've been working on Jack for well over 15 years. Because of that, it's given us a chance to do some much larger pieces, some, well, in this case, a leg sleeve. And leg sleeves are actually very rare. All right, Jack, you know, you can't be kicking and screaming like you were last time. That's the only way we're going to finish it. It's always very exciting to have somebody who has that larger vision. They're not wanting to just keep adding on to their collection. They want to take it from jump the right way and have that entire planned out bodysuit kind of look. It's always been you know, more of a gold mine to reach beyond that, to do something surprising, something that when somebody looks at it, they've never seen anything like that before. I'd like their jaw to drop.
Jack began his bodysuit over 15 years ago on his back with a piece of deep personal significance.
My back piece was a very important tattoo for me. At that time of my life, I was like going through some really horrible stuff. With the Japanese, they believe that your back tattoo is a tattoo that wards off evil spirits and watches your back. I had my turmoils with the drinking, the drugs, the partying, that whole scenario. I was doing some, you know, very shady kind of things. I was young, I was stupid. I had no real understanding as to the future. I don't tell Guy anything. I've let Guy do what Guy wants to do. I know he's a master at what he does. He can read people really, really well. He kind of talks to a person, gets a feel for them, and then sees how that tattoo needs to be and how it needs to be drawn up to fit that person's body. I knew when Guy touched me with the machine that this was a person that I wanted to do a complete bodysuit on me.
Work on Jack's leg is complete. In Grass Valley, California, it's Saber's fourth and final session before the convention.
We tattooed about 8 hours yesterday. Everything went pretty well. I left some stuff a little bit unfinished, and that's kind of a no-no for doing a multiple-day sitting, because you don't want to have an area broken skin you got to get right next to, because then it will kind of get chewed up a little bit. I think it's probably a little bit more painful healing and getting tattooed, so it's not going to be fun for him. But are you ready?
Let's get tattooed.
All right, day 2.
This is Saber's 30th hour under the needle, and the long sessions are proving a challenge for clients and artists.
My back is thrashed from lifting around kids all the time, and then going straight into late night tattooing with awkward angles and stuff like that. I really doubt that I'm in more pain than Saber is, but I'm suffering too.
With every tattoo, there's a healing period. But the intensity and duration of Saber's process is cause for additional concern.
Now that we're into the process, we're on the edge. And then, you know, it's if anything goes wrong with him healing, if he gets any sort of healing spots or anything like that, it's gonna look pretty bad at the show. So we're all keeping our fingers crossed.
At the conclusion of today's session, the outside of both arms will be complete, leaving Saber's inner forearms to be simultaneously tattooed at the convention. And Aaron is pleased with his progress.
The piece is turning out great. It's, you know, it's evolving into something different than I thought it would turn into, but, you know, I probably like it even more than the original idea. Under the time constraint, I'm kind of scrambling, so I'm doing things a little bit differently than I normally do. But we already got more stuff done today than we did all day yesterday. So maybe 3 more hours, maybe 4 more hours, we're gonna be done. So it's going really, really well.
Excellent.
Okay, that's the finishing touch. It's all done. Let me clean you up. What do you think?
Wow. Unbelievable.
The elbow really has nice motion to it. It looks like it's actually meant to do something. As it's bending, you can see all that stuff in motion. It really works. We'll clean you up and put a bandage on you, and then we'll head to Phoenix.
Excellent.
Off to the big show.
Can't wait.
All right, good job. Nice.
In just 4 sessions, Guy and Aaron have inked out the outer portion of 2 of the most impressive sleeves ever created. Guy with tremendous depth, subtlety, and painterly elegance, and Aaron with bold graphic style and immaculate detail. Up next, the Hell City Tattoo Convention. Guy and Aaron face off for their final session of the most highly anticipated tattoo war yet.
That's a 1 in a million chance right there to get 2 sleeves from the 2 masters.
And there's a surprise in store. Phoenix, Arizona, home of the Hell City Tattoo Convention and meeting place for the final phase of the most ambitious tattoo war yet. After 4 sessions, Saber's outer arms are complete. Today, Guy Aitchison and Aaron Kane will simultaneously tattoo his inner forearms to complete their sleeves. The masters arrive for this highly anticipated meeting.
Guy Aitchison and Aaron Kane are at an incredibly high level. They've revolutionized tattooing.
They're the top guys going on right now.
They are the forerunners in tattooing. Everybody in this room, as a tattooist, has strived to be those 2 guys.
Guy and Aaron aren't the only ones making a mark on this tattoo war.
I'm about to do a piece on the banner. Do a little something kind of quick but nice, just to add a little flavor to like what's going on. Plus it adds a combination of all of our art together on one surface, so that should be cool.
With the banner complete, Saber settles in for his final session.
All I can say is Saber is one lucky guy, because that's a 1 in a million chance right there to get 2 sleeves from the 2 masters.
We're getting ready to start drawing the designs on to his forearms here.
We're first going to start by just doing a couple reference lines. We want to get a couple key points, just making sure that they're going to match from arm to arm.
Then he's going to separate his 2 arms, and we're going to complete our drawings. Saber's doing great. He's taking a real beating, and he's still, raring to go. You're thinking, speak for yourself, dude.
I'm great. My hand was huge yesterday, but I kept it up all night, put some ice on it. This will be the 5th and 6th time I'm getting tattooed, all in one.
Should be an intense day, but a fun one.
Hey, Aaron, see you later.
See you later.
The concept behind the forearm tattoo? A biomechanical spin on an anatomically correct human heart.
What we've got here is kind of an anatomical human heart. I'm taking a little bit different approach to it than Aaron. My side is probably going to end up more organic. His side's probably going to end up a little bit more mechanical.
So the 2, when they come together, make a complete heart. But they will also stand alone really well.
The exciting part is they're going to be pretty different, and at one point we're going to be done, and he's going to bring them together. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
The forearm drawings are complete. Stagehand Jay checks the alignment, just out of the artist's view.
Dying of curiosity.
The sides are properly aligned. Now, the clock begins.
2, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let the tattooing begin!
Guy and Aaron will have 4 hours to complete their respective tattoos. the audience enjoys this rare opportunity to watch two industry icons.
I've looked up the guy. He's been a role model for the entire industry. He's reinvented tattooing for our generation, definitely. He brought a whole different look, texture, application.
Guy's more of an eccentric artist, I think. Like, he's very into like the minute details.
Aaron Kane is on the exact same level. He's definitely revolutionized tattooing.
When I saw Aaron's work, I was just enthralled. It just has that feel of like permanent jewelry.
Aaron is more almost an old school artist in his like application of the tattoo. It's very bold, it's very readable.
It's going to be really exciting to see what they pull off.
The screen is off limits. I'm not touching it. But yeah, I'm dying to see what Aaron's doing.
Saber is a rock. He has been the whole time.
Both sides are shaping up amazingly. I'm really stoked on the contrast of the styles, but the fact that they match is gonna be really cool.
See that? See what's happening there?
We're down to the wire. Just the last few minutes here. I think we've got about 90 seconds, so I better not waste them talking.
I feel great. I feel like I did a 6-hour tattoo in 4 hours.
For the first time, Guy and Aaron bring the two sides together. A perfect match. But it's up to the audience to decide which tattoo will prevail. The hyperdimensional luminosity of Guy Aitchison's sleeve, or the bold graphic style of Aaron Kane's sleeve.
Very nice work, both of them. Seems a little bit more definition in Aaron's work.
I can't really say who I'm going to vote for.
Not too sure yet. I'm still trying to decide. I don't know who I'm going to vote for.
Leaning more towards Aaron Kane. You know, his stuff's more bold.
I really don't know how you could possibly choose between the two.
Tough call, but I'm kind of partial to Guy.
Aaron Kane, baby.
I'd say Atchison.
Aaron Kane.
Aaron Kane.
Guy Aitchison.
To announce the victor, Hugh the Chopper King.
And the winner of the Tattoo Wars is Aaron King.
Aaron Kane has won the popular vote. But in this matchup of the Masters, the real winner is Saber, whose two blank arms were transformed into pieces of fine art. With unrivaled skill, passion, and design, Guy and Aaron have, together, created one of the most dynamic pairs of sleeves ever tattooed.
I like the finished piece the guy did better than my piece, but I like them both, and they look great together. They look awesome together. This is a project like none other so far that I've seen or been a part of. So I was really proud of what I did. I was really proud of what Guy did.
Aaron's a great guy, and he's always been a real big influence for me. And you know, working with him on this project, you know, I feel like it kind of woke me up a little bit. And you know, I'm going to go back home and you know, probably do things just a little bit differently. You know, every time I have a great collaborative experience, that happens, and this has been a potent one.
At the end of the day, they're both my favorite. You can't decide. I can't decide, of course, you know. I love my left arm just as much as my right arm, so.